Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. So today we are going to work on the rest of our cover. Now this is a magazine journal that I started. It is a Seattle Met, I believe, magazine. Now, of course, you can use Oprah, Family Circle, whatever you want. I talk about all that in my last video, which will be linked down below. And at the end of this video, there's thumbnails. Click it and you will see all about the magazine and, how we got to this point. So you can see, and the texture is just, look at that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so you can see I'm kind of in a squishy area. So I don't know why I enjoy working like this much more. I need to clean everything off. Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that at the moment. So I've been using paints that I have that I just want to use and before they go bad. And these, I don't even know if these are made anymore. I've not looked. These are the Dina Wakley Media. And these were sent to me a long time ago. And you can see I've used the crud out of them, but I have lime, blackberry, magenta, tangerine, turquoise, and lemon. So I thought I would play with some of this. I also have a sponge, which could be a makeup sponge, paper towel, whatever you have, to use that. And I have just some random stencils and, that kind of stuff sitting around. And one of my favorite things are rub-ons. So I might add these on there. I might not. I don't know. But I'll talk about a few things and we shall get started. Now, if you're going to use this as, let's say, a diary type thing, you definitely can gesso out the pages and then go ahead, and write in it. You can add and glue on printer paper or lined paper, loose leaf notebook paper. I mean, there's so many wonderful things you can do, whether it's this kind of journal or, maybe you have a bought one or a made one that you made. You know what I'm saying? So I think that I'm going to start off with some orange. And I know, I have all my stuff over here. I'm a mess. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this down a little bit. And I'm going to squeeze. This is nice paint. I mean, it's acrylic paint. Nothing fantastical, but it's a nice paint. Let's see what it does. Now you can see here the alcohol drips. And just how it lifted and gave just some texture. And that's just another, way to play. All right. So I have this, and I'm going to just put a little bit and stamp it off and move my, whether it's your brush or sponge, kind of around. And I am going to pat it. There we go. And you can get some more. Just move it all around. Again, I'm not going in like a pattern where, we're going to be like, oh, look at that. I just want to add a little bit more color. And if you don't have stencils or you don't want to do this, don't. You know what I mean? You can just put some on there. Let me grab a paper towel. And I turned it over, and I'm going to go in and just give it a pat as well. This is how I like to get a little extra off of the stencil, but I hardly ever clean my stencils, so. And I don't know, not too much came through, but it's a little bit, and it's enough, and you can see that. Okay. Now, I do have, well, let's finish this, and then I'll do the sprays. Let's pick a different kind of stencil. Now, you can get these at your dollar store. Or maybe your kids have a spirograph or something to that effect. And these are fun to use. They have circles that I like to, use. And here it's just going to be some fun. You know what? Let me use a paintbrush to show you. Do I have a paintbrush? Let's use this one. It's a little stiffer. And I will just put this down. I'm going to tap that in, tap a little bit of it off. And I will just use this as if it's a stencil. And it has different shapes, as you can see. Triangles, diamonds, stars, circles. Okay. And just lift up and you can see you get different kind of things. And you can, let me see if I can find the other page that I kind of wiped on. And then I would turn it over and do the same kind of thing. I'm not going to spend too much time doing it, but lifting off any of the orange that I might have on there. But I'm going to take the rest of this orange like this and just kind of do that because I'm really not, you know, I'm going to use that color again. So I want to stick with, maybe I'll do a little yellow. Let's do some yellow. Same deal, squirt a little bit out. Take a stencil, go ahead in. And this is a thicker paint, which is nice. It's acrylic because it won't it won't leak. There's the language barrier, Kelly. It won't leak underneath your stencils as if it were a fluid. But look how cool. And then just add it down here. A little bit more. Like that, and then I can just pull it that way. I can use the other part of my sponge. I like to go underneath. And sometimes, you know, a little gets underneath, so when you do this, it helps too. And lift it up. You can see it's a little bit of a, you know, jumbled mess, but I like it. And one other thing, you know, I've showed these a million times. These are your sink. They go in your kitchen cabinets rather for your cups and all, and you get them at the dollar store. And not that color matters, but you can definitely glue these down as texture. You can, you know, it's one of those at-home fun things. And what I like to do is just put some color, might need some more, and then do a little stamp and pick it up, and you can see right there that deliciousness. We will do one more color on these. Let's see what color. Well, let's just do the pink. If you find your stuff getting muddy, let it dry. That's why I wanted to let it dry overnight, because I'll use this part, because I didn't want this to get into all the other beautiful colors I had, because I didn't want to. Yeah. I'm just pressing it. You can roll it with your roly-poly. You can do whatever you want. But you see what I'm saying? Now, maybe you just want a little bit of pink here and you don't want to put a stencil. Go ahead. You put it wherever you want. It doesn't matter. Okay. And you see where the mixed media is? It's the magazine paper. It's gesso. It's different colors of acrylic paint. Did I say stencils? I think I might have. So you see what I'm saying? There's just a lot going on, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's called fun. But one thing I am going to show you, somebody asked me about bubble wrap. Let me show you, because I love bubble wrap. I don't know why that feather's flying around. I was not stripping last night. Okay, and I'm just going to pull this and pull this into a smaller piece. I'm going to now you can dip this if you want, but what we're going to do is take, you know, your makeup sponge, just going to kind of do that and run it on there. And you can see it picks up the individual, but I think what I'm going to do as well, oh, my nose is itchy. I'm going to squeeze just the littlest bit of gesso. And I'm going to lighten this up a bit. So I'll just take a little bit on this side and just add it in different sections, right? Different kind of things. And let's see what we have. Let's push this down. Oh, yes. Do you see it? Oh, it's so pretty. Let's try it here if we have any left. This is just your normal bubble wrap. And the fun thing is bubble wrap comes in so many sizes. I have the big ones. I have the small ones. I know it sounds like a personal problem, but I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. And then I can just kind of run it. You know, maybe I have some more orange on there. Maybe I want to make it like a sunset-y kind of, funfetti kind of thing. Okay. And where do we want to put them? Let's put them here. I'll lift it up real quick and maybe here. Now, something else you can do, let's do it on this page here. If you spray this, because the acrylic paint is not dry yet, right? So if you spray it, and then, you know, when you've done a few prints, give it a little push. Push it real good. Look at that. So just go and take the rest of the paint off if you want. You can give another squirt. Of course, it's going to go lighter and lighter, you know, because we're getting that paint off. But who's complaining? Not me, because look at that. That is gorgeous. Let me show you this. Look how pretty. Oh, but wait. We're not done. So then I want to dry this a little bit. I could spend hours on the cover. Let's face it. I'm not going to worry too much on how wet. This stuff will dry very quickly. Use your hair dryer. I know, that's my spiel. Use your heat gun. If you don't have a heat gun, use a hair dryer. If you don't have a hair dryer, go to your local thrift store, Goodwill. You can get one for a couple bucks. And then you have your dryer. Or just sit here, watch your favorite video, and it'll be dry because it dries very fast. Okay, so now think about it. You can use a bottom of a pill jar and put it in a stamp. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to feel like you don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me see if I can find. All right. Come on, baby. I want whites. I don't know if I'm gonna find it. What color are you? You're green. I'm gonna shake this up. This is the plaid stencil spray. When it dries, it is permanent. And I just want to give it a shake. And let's see what happens with, let's do it. I'm into the circles lately. I don't know why. Do like that. And then if you have some punchinella is always fun. Okay, well those, I had it too far away. Let's do it like that. Yeah. See, it's much better. And then turn it over. And just like maybe you want to lighten up an area or something. And if you turn it over, the same thing goes. I like to just give it a little smush, and that right there is deliciousness. Oh, yes. Okay. So you see, same thing, and I think this corner up here needs some. Give it a little squish. Lift it up. Okay, and you have a lot more in here, and I'll just do that and put that like that for the memento. And of course, there's so many different colors. You can use whatever sprays you have. Now, let's say you get to this point and you're like, you know what? I don't have a heat gun, or I don't feel like sitting here drying this forever. Whether it be paint or spray or whatever you want. Oh, let me tell you one more thing. If you're using a makeup sponge or any kind of sponge, put it in your water and find the paintbrush that you were using so it doesn't dry out like everything else in your life, and just leave it in there, because, and then just give it a squeeze out, and then that's it. It'll squeeze that extra acrylic out, it'll dry, and you can use it the next time. But let's say we have, you know, we're one of those people like me who sometimes I enjoy the whole slow process. Other times I'm like, please, let's just get going. So I will take a piece of printer paper, or a napkin because I use paper towels and napkins in my art. So this is juicy deliciousness. And I will lift up. Now you can see it's not changing too much, but it's going to lift up a little bit of whatever's still damp or wet. So I can move on to the next part and not have to, you know, have big blobs of color. So and we'll look and see what this looks like when we're done. Yeah. You see, we're just starting another kind of piece because you guys know I love it. So now what I want to do is you can see these colors that we did on the stencils, it's coming out, right? You can see it's like popping out at you. And now the background is pushed back, which I love. But what I'm going to do is take a little bit of, I don't think I'm going to use white. I'm going to use this Liquitex bleached titanium, which I love. Oh, crap. Titan Buff is delicious. I just don't have it sitting here. You can, if you do not have a color like this, take white or your gesso, squirt it out. Because you know you can color your gesso, and I'll talk about that in a second. Hopefully I'll remember. And then just put a teeny little bit of brown in there to make it a little bit. I just don't want it to be stark white. Because I still want that blue to come through, but I want some of the stencil to come through. So I'm just gonna like that. That's all. And then I'm gonna take a old credit card, ATM card, piece of plastic, whatever you have, and we're gonna scrape it because I just want some of that pushed back, but I still want to see it. Like I still want that blue. Some of the areas are so pretty. And scrape it both ways because as you see, it's gonna come through and kind of grab on those higher parts, which is my favorite. Oh my gosh, we finished Making a Murderer 2 on Netflix last night. Anybody watching it? Anybody? And also something else, I want to thank you guys for your comments and your emails and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to be starting to, for people who leave comments, doing little giveaways. I have other little giveaways planned, and for people who take the time to leave me a comment, yeah, I got some stuff to give away. Some new product and maybe a piece of art. I don't know. Getting it together. I have a lot of things that are going to be going up on my Etsy and my Patreon. So that's what I've been working on. Okay, so you can see I did that and everything's pushed back and now we see this Titan Buff color. But I think some areas are too opaque. So I'm going to squirt it with some water. This is my trick. I do it all the time. I love it. I'm going to take, and I'll just wipe the paint off of there. This is my Mod Podge scraper, which I love. I use it often. And then I'm going to go in and do the same kind of thing. Look, if you don't walk around with paint on your hands, up your nails, maybe sometimes up your nose, in your eyeball, around your eyeball, all over your clothes. And the bottom of your feet, because I don't have slippers on today and I fling paint everywhere. Yeah, there we go. And I'm not sad to say it, nor embarrassed. Okay, so I'm liking it. I like how it's pushing back. And what I'm going to do is give it a little quick dry. And remember, we used our Liquitex ink, or Bombay, or Doc Martin, or whatever they're called. See, this is everything right here. Look at that. Which that might become another page that I do. Oh yeah, okay. Okie doke. So now I'm gonna take and give it a shake. Oh, she's the beast boy. Okay. I know. Old joke. I do it all the time. I'm old. What do you want? I do old people jokes. Dad jokes, mom jokes. I don't know. But I have it, and this is what the base was. And all I'm going to do is do a little bit of this. Maybe in some areas. Okay. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take, maybe I'll do it with this because I don't want it too everywhere, and you'll see what we're going to do. But I'm just going to kind of And maybe you really dig this one and you're like, I'm not touching that one. Now, you know what I'm going to probably do is leave these ones drip. But I'm going to just kind of give a little bit of texture around. Oh, gosh, that pink is everything. Okay, so you see how I'm just kind of bringing a little bit forward. And you don't need to wipe it off if you don't want. Who cares? And then I'm going to take... Okay. All right. All right. Oh, yeah, boy. Look at that. And just keep turning it. Every which way but loose. Oh, she is punny today. Is that a pun? I don't know, but I'm going to pretend it is and be happy and proud of myself. Okay. And what's happening is, if you look, these scrunchy marks that we made with the paper towel underneath are like, it's kind of like collecting and running, and it just looks everything. Now, I see this piece here. It started to drip. It's not giving me the drippage that I'd like, so I'm going to squirt them. That's what we do here. I'm just going to run it the other way real quick, just to add a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if you could see. You could give it a tap like that, but I am loving this. I'm loving it, loving it. And then I'm going to show you one last thing to do. Again, you can do this on an ATC card. You can do it in your art journal, on an art journal page. You can do it on a canvas. These are so much fun to do on a canvas. And of course, we're just drawing it. This time, I won't necessarily go to pick up any of this paint. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside just for a second. Just for a second. And then I'm going to get some, get off there, masking tape. And I'm going to just take a couple pieces or one piece. Sometimes I like to do a couple, but I like them to touch. And I'll show you what I mean. So it's a little bit bigger. So I'm going to overlap it. Come on now. I know it's masking tape. It's not, you can use painter's tape, whatever you want, because you can always, oh, my painter's tape's right. I couldn't find it, and it's because I took it out to use it. Okay, just going to do this real quick, just to show you. Once your your journal page is done, take paint or a marker or whatever you have. I don't want to use that. And then you go ahead and you just write your junk journal or whatever, whatever you name it. That's it. And then you can do little designs or whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? And then what you would do is you would peel this up, get all the pieces. And no, I do know it's not going to stick because it's wet, it's paint, But if you go ahead and put your Mod Podge paper on here, which I'm not going to do at the moment because this is still a little bit too wet, and then you just put it on here. So you could do 12 pieces, and this is a great thing to do on your ATC cards. I've shown many things where we use tape as part of almost a stencil on your pages, where you lay it down and then paint and then rip that off and go different, make abstract and all that kind of thing. So, this is a definite way, and you can make it thicker or thinner and do fancy writing or not. Remember, don't beat yourself up. It's not, you don't even have to put anything on it. It's your junk journal. So then, like I said, what I would do is just Mod Podge that down wherever I want it, and then there is my page. You could put other stickers, and I mean, you could do whatever you want. I'm not going to be able to use the rub-ons, I don't think, on here like I wanted to. Well, maybe I can do it down here. Let's try one. Let's just... I did do a call out a long time ago. Anybody who has rub-ons that they don't want anymore, send them to me. But you can see why you want to have your Mod Podge or your paper Mod Podge sticking this down, or whatever you use. Let's see if I can get some of this right here. And what am I going to use to scrape it? This maybe? Maybe this. Yeah, it's better. So you can see I'm using this very expensive tool or you can use a popsicle stick, you know the drill. And I'm not going to cry if it doesn't come out a full picture. I will, however, cry if it just doesn't, might not even go on here though. That could be an issue. Okay. Oh, okay. Nothing, just little teeny bits and pieces. Let's see here. No, we're not playing nice today because the paint's still wet. So of course I'm do not, and that's what I did. But I'll leave that dry and do it another day. You get the gist. I'm okay. But look how wet. So I'll never be able to get it stuck there. But like I said, once everything's dry. And here we go. This is it. This is it. Make no mistake. Okay. So let me know what you guys think. I love it. Like I said, you definitely can. Oh, I know. If you don't have tape, take your gesso and just run, you know what I mean? Just take it across so you can write on top of it once it's dry. Just make sure it's completely dry, or any color. Maybe you want light blue and you're going to use a black marker. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It is good. So also the last thing, or I'll do it in another video, not a big deal. So yeah, so here's our page. Like I said, a lot of fun. The cover, I'm going to do my tape thing there once it's dry. Oh, look. Oh, yeah. You know, I just love it. I'm loving it. Loving it. Oh, I just love it. You could go around the outside. Okay. All right. So if you just found me and you enjoy my videos, I'd appreciate it if you would click that subscribe button down below, and all of you click the notification, that little bell next to it, so you guys can be notified when I upload. You know, I try to upload 4 to 5 times a week, depending on how I'm feeling and my health. However, just click it so you'll know. And if you guys do this, all my social media is down below. Tag me, hit me up, show me what you guys did with your magazine art journal. And if you just found this video and you're curious to see how we got to this point before we started the second layer, it'll be, like I said, linked down below and at the end of the video. As always, please be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. Progress, not perfection. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.